demonstrate what an Evertune bridge is capable of doing, how to set it up, how to use it, how to make it work for you, and just give you a little tutorial of how it works for me. I have an 8-string Ibanez Prestige that is fully modified, by the way, and I installed an Evertune 8-string system on it. Before I did the routing process of doing the guitar and getting it to where it is now, I worked with Cosmos, which is the owner of Evertune, and we tried to go through what string tensions would work for the type of tuning that I'm in for my 8-string. I don't know who tunes it like this, but I tune my 8-string, I guess, low. So, you know, so what I got here is I have on the bottom 6 is a standard drop C tuning, and then I got an additional G and an additional C. So when you hear the top 4 strings, almost sounds like a piano. So when they sent me the system, I was very excited. I tried this setup on the guitar without an Evertune on it, and the 8 and the 7 string were just flat. And that's, I think, the big problem when you're doing an extended range guitar. The guitar manufacturers, are not building the scale lengths properly to give the player an advantage to tuning it differently from the normal. You know, instead of your standard E tuning and a drop E and having 3 E's, you know, you can drop it lower, but playability for anyone playing a regular standard 27-inch scale or smaller in a drop tuning is going to have really low tension on their strings, and again, that makes less clean notes, intonation problems, sharping when you squeeze down on the spring, like when you press the fret too hard, it'll sharpen, and those of you 7, 8 string players know what I mean. Even for 6 strings, you know, sometimes jumbo frets and you squeeze it down and you hit a note and you push it down harder, it kind of sharpens. So that's why I wanted to try out the Evertune bridge. Here's the front look of the guitar. This is the back look of the guitar. An up-close view of the Evertune, as you can see, I'm going to try and describe to you and show you this with the camera where it's at, is these individual, let's see if I can hold it. These are all individual spring tension setups. So each one is dedicated to each string, so no other string affects the other, or no other spring affects the other either. So each spring is dialed in to the right tuning, and this took us some time working back and forth with Cosmos. I think about 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks of going back and forth with string gauges, searching it up, trying to figure things out on how we could get it to work. And so I went to Kalium strings, or Kalium strings, or the older Circle K strings, and they had a string tension generator. So those of you that want to do and experiment different types of tuning, they're very helpful. Other than that, it's pretty simple once you get used to it. Another great benefit of having the Evertune system installed, or the Evertune bridge installed on your guitar, is that once you go through your tuning once, like say if you're in drop C or you're in E standard or drop D, no matter what the tuning is, once you're done setting up the tuning with Evertune, pretty much if you're in the same gauge category and you put it in, you're just gonna tune it up and it's gonna be in tune. There's no breaking in strings that I've had experiences with where the strings went sharp or flat. I mean, for me, I use the same set of strings and the same gauges, so I don't really play around too much. I know what I like, so I'm gonna keep using what I'm doing. But when you change your strings, simple. You cut off the new ones, you pull out the old one, you shove it back in, and as quick as you can tighten it, it's tuned. Saves time, live shows, gig. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I've never had a string break on me either. And I've been using this for over 2 years now, It's installed on 2 of my custom guitars and my 8-string, which has been modified. The pickups on, you'll never find an Ibanez like this, but the pickups that are in here are my custom Arrow Wicked 1 and 2. We went with the soapbox version of it, where all the way around is all wood. So we had to route the body wider to fit these pickups in intentionally. And when you're routing the Evertune in, you're gonna take out a chunk of meat. This whole cavity is going to come out. As far as the tone and the sound of the guitar, I couldn't tell a difference if the lost wood affected the tone in any way, shape, or form. Played through various Mesa Boogie amplifiers, played through a Kemper, I couldn't tell the difference. So there's sites out there saying that, you know, it'll change the tone of the wood and it's not going to sound as good because you took out all the meat of the guitar. But honestly, I personally didn't see any change in tone. If you're not a luthier or experienced in woodworking, this is not a task I would suggest you do at home on your own, thinking you can buy your own router and set up your own jigs for it. You know, it really helps to understand what you're doing with the tools you're using, because, you know, this was a $2,000 guitar a while ago, and if you mess it up, you're throwing that guitar away. So highly recommend using an experienced luthier that understands what he's doing, or a skilled woodworker that understands how to use tools. When you buy the Evertune bridge, it's going to come in a box, and on their website it's going to also show on the bottom templates that you can either download the templates and have them made yourself, or you can buy the templates directly from them, which I suggest you do when you're ordering the bridge. Buy the bridge with the template. It makes it so much easier to take all of that straight to your luthier or to your woodworker and go through the steps. This is not a video on how to install it via cutting the wood. I did not videotape that portion of installing the Evertunes. I should have. So not every guitar that you install an Evertune will fit. It will fit, but meaning this was the Ibanez 8-string. I think that's their standard Prestige 8-string bridge system, and as you can see, it was actually wider than the Evertune bridge. So this whole empty cavity space on the guitar right here, we put ebony shims inside to match it. So that's actually real ebony filling up the gap. On my custom guitars, when you install an Evertune system on a brand new guitar made for it, it's really the install is really clean. I mean, it is, you can't even tell the difference. But this was the first bridge I put on my custom. It comes with a nice back plate. I took off the other one just so you could see what the inner workings of the unit does. And they really did their homework. Amazing. Here's my other custom Evertune bridge, again installed in it. And again, it's amazing how clean it looks and how sleek it makes the guitar look. Another question I had was, how does it affect the playing ability of it? It's no more different than your original bridge that would have been in there, you know, like my palm muting. I had no issues with trying to relearn how the guitar feels. I would say it felt natural for me, compared to, like, I had a Parker before, one of these rare Parkers, and I really loved how light it was, how good it looked, how sleek it felt, and I couldn't get over the fact that when I muted on that guitar, I had to go way back. I had to push really hard to get that rip. And you know, for me, that's a part of my tone when I'm playing distortion. I need that rip, and that scrape helps build that distortion up. For me, the only guitars, I played a lot of guitars, but the Parker was the hardest for me to get used to muting. So installing an Evertune shouldn't give you any issues. And if it does, I am very sorry. But I've owned a lot of guitars and they don't give me any issue. This is an RG Prestige Team J Craft. And my wife bought me this as a birthday anniversary gift because I got married on my birthday for my 40th. And amazing guitar. And the first thing I wanted to do was install an Evertune on it. But again, not every guitar is going to be an easy setup. So when we took apart the bridge system under this model per se, there were levels of routed out wood pieces that where the Evertune would mount wouldn't have any wood after we took out the areas. So I don't recommend popping an Evertune on any guitar. Again, this was retail $4,000 something. It's not just to go pop in the bridge and hope it works. You really got to understand the wood and how it works. So this one, kind of bummed out that I couldn't put an Evertune on it. I can, but if you do install on a tremolo style like this, not all tremolos are like this. This was a very weird tremolo body cavity that they had. Compared to the other RGs, we can still put an Evertune on it, but this Team J Craft, the body cavity was not accommodating, and in order for me to put in an Evertune bridge, I would have to take all of this out. I would have to re-glue in blocks of wood exactly to fit custom into the existing cavities, all the different step-ups that they had, and then install the Evertune on it. And that's the only reason why I didn't do this one. So, beautiful guitar though. I mean, I love it. Setting up your Evertune bridge. Once it's installed, this is the how-to that worked for me. So, they give you instruction manuals. They talk about zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. And what they're referring to is the stage of where these are. Like right now I'm in zone 1. So if you look, you can see that all of these are almost all the way back towards the bottom of the bridge. Okay? After you put all the strings in, you load them up, you cut them, and you put it on your tuning pegs. That's what they're gonna sound like, right? Okay, so this is zone 1. If you can see that, there you go. Now that's a metal tuning if I've ever heard it. Listen to the raw metal. Oh. That is a rip. So after you get the string, so you know you're in zone 2, you're tightening it up. As you're tuning it, you're gonna hear it like not tuning it, but as you're tightening the strings the first time, you're gonna hear it go to a stage. Another way to help find zone 2 would be your brand new strings on, right? And it's flapping. When you're tightening it, listen to it. Okay, I'm turning my peg and it's not changing. You hear that? Look, I'm tightening and I'm loosening. Okay, and that's an easy way to figure out zone 2 also when you set up the new bridge. So again, it moves. I'm pulling on the string and it's in zone 2. Again, I already set my tuning up, so look, I just tightened my strings until I got into zone 2, and now you hear it come out of zone 2. That's out of zone, that's zone 1. Zone 2. Okay? Past zone 2 is zone 3. This is an amazing system. Okay, that's zone 3. You heard it sharp? The zone 3, back into zone 2. Now in zone 2, if you're tracking for a studio or recording an album in the studio and you don't want sharps and intonation going bad, I would, if you're not doing bends or if you don't do squigglies when you play rhythm like I do, and you're just doing solid strumming or solid notes that don't have bends, I'd keep it in zone 2. Middle of zone 2 means that I can bend the string. Look, I'm bending it. Full bends. Same note. All the way down. So zone 2, that's like perfect pitch, perfect intonation, tracking like rhythm, metal rhythms and all that. Everything sounds really good, really tight. So now, if you want it to respond like a normal guitar, you need to take it into the sweet spot, which is right between zone 2 and zone 3. So as it goes into zone 3, you hear it? Okay, back in zone 2, zone 3. So once you get it into zone 3 and it just changes in pitch, right there, turn it back about a turn, a full turn, or however sensitive you want to make it to bend. So now I broke a string on an Evertune. This is crazy. This is the first time I broke a string on it. Okay, so much for that string. Move on. So I'm going to do that again. That was cool. I've been waiting to break a string on this thing. So 2.5 years, that's the first string broke. Promise. Okay, here's string number 2. I'm in zone 2, and I'm tightening it. There you go, zone 3. Come back now. So I like to put it right back at the right pitch, or the right note that you're tuned to. So I just bring it down, and now it bends. So you do that per each string, per each tuning. So tuning is right behind the string. Okay? Your action. Action is the height of your string to your fretboard, to your frets. And your intonation is in the back. They made this foolproof. So after you're done tuning your Evertune to the string tuning gauges and sizes that you want, right? What you're gonna do next is, for me, I did the action. What I did first was the action, and you're gonna love it. Okay, so action is now the holes on the top. So you stick your Evertune tool in, and right brings it down, makes it lower. Left brings action back up. Simple. So you can get your you want to do action and you want to do it properly, you get out your little ruler. For me, I take my my action measurement from the front of the 12th fret, okay, and I look at it, and I'm usually, my bass strings are usually set to 3/32 or a hair under it, because I like my action low. I don't have whammy bar, so I'm not worrying about how low I go. And the bottom high E, or the first string, would be at 2/32, and that's my setup. Trick tip. To play fast is a lot easier if the strings are closer to the fretboard, but you cannot do that if your fretboard is not properly set either. So if you have a bowed or a reverse bowed fretboard, you are not going to get that low. All the guitars I have so far, the necks are straight, and you can set that by your truss rod. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it yourself. Some people tighten it too hard or too fast, and they split the back of the neck. So I recommend, if you're bowed, turn it a quarter turn or a half a turn to the right to tighten it, and it'll pull your bow back and make it straight. If you're in a reverse bow where the neck is arched like this, then I'd loosen the truss rod either a quarter turn or a half a turn And I like to also, when I'm doing that with the neck, I like to kind of, if I'm bending it back, I like to kind of rub it and pull it back and help the truss rod do its deal. If it's a reverse bowl, I kind of like to push it forward and kind of just rub it out to help it. I don't know if it works or not, but hey, that's what I do. Okay, so this is your action: right to lower, left to raise up the string height. And you know, you can put your ruler and just tighten it down, or you know, you can hold the first fret and keep lowering it until you buzz. That's another trick. And then when you do raise the string heights up or down in height, it may affect the tuning. So after you get the action that you want, double check your tuning. Go back in there and make sure you're perfectly tuned on all of them, because if you raise or lower your saddles, you're going to sometimes maybe put more tension on the string or less. You shouldn't have too much of an issue only because of the spring in the back, but hey, while you're setting this up, do it right the first time. You're not going to have to keep doing this every single time. So tune your strings, the first hole right behind the string. Action is right on the middle. And intonation, how's this? How's that for simple? That is so genius. To set your intonation, your open string and your 12th fret harmonic should be exactly the same. And use a tuner. Don't do this by ear. Use a tuner. Get it done right the first time. You don't want to keep doing this. So if it's sharp, you loosen it. If it's flat, you tighten it. You're gonna notice it's not gonna change the tune. This will stay the same. When you hit the harmonic on the 12th, you're gonna see your meter move back and forth when you adjust the back screw. This would be the bridge system to put in any guitar, only because of the fact that it makes plain, simple, smooth. You're always in tune. You can travel, your neck can bow, warp, but you're still going to be in tune. I wish more people got on these Evertunes. They'd really benefit from it. My tutorial and review of the Evertune is just fabulous. It's fabulous. So I hope it covered everything that you guys might have been wondering. I know a lot of you asked me on Facebook Messenger, how does it work? What does it look like? How do you do it? I hopefully covered everything except for the install part. I know that's a critical part of the Evertune bridge system, but I believe they have a special, I think it was for November, that if you wanted to put an Evertune bridge in your guitar that you already own, you can pay for them to do it. You send it to the company, they will put it in for you perfectly, and you'll get it back. There is always a risk of something going wrong. You know, there's no 100% in anything. I know personally a great luthier, but you're not going to get 100%. You know, if the luthier is really good and skilled, you'll have no issues. That's why it's nice to just send it to them. And also, if you see a guitar on the market that you want to buy that doesn't have the Evertune bridge on it, I believe again for November that you let them know, you fill out their form online, and you can easily just say which guitar you want. They purchase it, they install the Evertune bridge on it, and then you pay for the brand new guitar with the Evertune installed from them. So they're making it real easy now for everyone to get it. So hey, get it. Sorry, it's being crazy. Just excited. It's Evertune. Sheesh. I want to thank Cosmos and Herbert, the owner and the guy running the Facebook site, Herbert, for being a part of this crazy creation that they thought of. And it's sleek, it looks good, it feels good. They give you a nice back plate to still look like you have a stock guitar, but under the plate hides all the glory, all the magic, all the science and technology that they figured out in here somewhere. I don't have that kind of brain smarts, guys, but thank you guys for creating it. I love them, they're fabulous, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and understood kind of what I was breaking down. I know when I first received the Evertune, I kind of felt a little bit low because there wasn't so much tutorials or how-to videos. So you just figure it out, and I hope this helps all of you. I hope this helps you guys purchase an Evertune bridge. Let's stop wasting time tuning and just keep playing and have fun. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Evertune. I wanted to share with you guys a really cool story though, before I head out. I received a Facebook message from the guitar tech from Testament. He knows who he is, and he asked me, hey man, send me one of them bridges. I'm gonna install it in Alex Skolnick's guitar, his custom. So I had my little fangirl moment. I'm like, oh my god. And it's a little history. In 2015, Augustine 313 opened for Testament. I met the guitar tech, I don't want to say names, and Alex Skolnick played my custom K2, and I have a little video of that also. But he just played it. He is not affiliated anyway, and it was just amazing that 2 years later he saw one of my other videos that I posted on Facebook, and he was like, man, send me a bridge. I want to put it in Alex's guitar. And so I was like, well, what color does he want, you know? And he said, oh, let me go ask Alex. And then so Alex wanted a chrome one, and it's in his ESP custom, and those guitars go for about $6,000. So they're gonna put an Evertune in it. He's gonna love it, and selfishly I made that happen. You know, it's a moment. It's just a moment. And so I called up Cosmos, and I was like, hey man, I got a funny situation here. The guitar tech from Testament wants me to send him a bridge, and he wants to install it in Alex's guitar. And I was like, Cosmos, I can just buy a bridge, send it to him, or you can do it and deal with it. And he was like, dude, send me their information, send me all their email, I'll take care of it. And I'm pretty sure he already sent out the bridge. And so if you see Alex Skolnick from Testament or Eric Peterson from Testament playing an Evertune, it was me. But Cosmos, you know, gave them the bridge. So that's just a little selfish pleasure that I have, because Alex Skolnick is one of the guitar guys I worship, you know, also Dimebag. But just wanted to share that little inside story that nobody knows about. So this video is also for you, Mr. Guitar Tech of Alex Skolnick. Thank you all very much.